This is the plaintiff, Rudy Magalanes. He says the defendant is his nephew, and he foolishly added him to his phone account to help him out. The ingrate stopped paying his bill. He cut the phone off, and here they are, because he's now suing him for the $296 he's owed. This is the defendant, Daniel Benavidez. He says his uncle, who he was forced to live with, was a tyrant who tried to run his life. As far as the phone goes, he was 2 days late paying him because his paycheck got held up, and the hothead turned his phone off. Oh, and money for a shut-off phone? No way. He's accused of making an uncle mad.
All parties, please raise your right hand. Be seated, come to order, please. No, it's a stutter of some sort. I'll be better later. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
Mr. Magallanes, right?
Yes.
Okay. You're suing your nephew for $296 that you say he owes on a telephone bill. You apparently put his telephone bill on your plan?
Yes.
Okay, and why did you do that?
Well, his mother had passed away. Basically, it's going to be a year. I promised her that I would watch over him or help him if he ever needed anything. And that's the only reason why
Okay.
I did.
So he needed to, I guess, finance a phone where you pay the monthly
Yes.
bits to, all right. And what kind of phone did you get?
Samsung Galaxy 8.
All right, so it was on your bill, and how much was it a month?
Well, there were 3 phones on my plan, and his was supposedly, he was supposed to pay $55 a month
Okay,
towards
and
the
did he?
phone and his bill. He was good at doing it.
All right, and then you guys end up having a problem. And the problem happens when you live with your grandmother, right? Who is your mother?
No, my ex-sister-in-law.
So she's your ex, so this is your grandnephew.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so so you end up moving in with your ex-sister-in-law.
Yes.
Okay. And how long were you guys living together before problems arose?
A couple of weeks.
So it was kind of fast.
Yes.
Yeah.
According to you, what was the problem?
The problem was basically everything. As soon as you got in, problem started within the week. I got a curfew and I'm almost 23 years old. I couldn't bring my friends over no more. I couldn't even have a beer in my own house after work.
Why do you suppose that was happening?
It's just, that's his personality. It's my uncle, I love him, but I tend to know that he's kind of a drama queen. Basically, just that's how he is. Everything has to be tic-tac his way or the highway. So, and he was a guest in my home, and basically, you know.
Is it your home?
No, it's just my grandma's home, but I've been there since I was a kid. So
Okay.
I feel like, yeah, it's my home. And, you know, most people, when you go to a guest home, you know, you adjust to their rules. No, we adjust to his rules.
Okay, so what happened when you moved over there?
I didn't put any rules down for one. I was a guest while I was paying rent, where, yeah, he was working, but his thing was partying every night. It doesn't matter what hour. We'd be asleep. He'll be coming in at 1, 2, 3 o'clock with 4 or 5 other people behind him, drinking, smoking weed. He did whatever he pleased. His grandmother, even though it's her home, he wasn't treating it like it was her home. It was his home, and whatever he wanted, he did it anyway.
Okay, but was there ever a problem before you moved in? Like, in other words, she didn't mind. Apparently, she's a much sounder sleeper than you are.
Yes.
And so she wouldn't wake up when they traipsed in the middle of the night, so she didn't care.
No, she did.
So if she did, then why wouldn't she have taken care of it before you got on the scene?
She has, but it's his way or no way, and he's been like this since he was a child. You know what? My niece was a single mother of 2 boys. He landed up living with my brother and my mother, and I don't even know if he's aware that your grandmother passed away. Her services are next week. I don't even know if you know that, because he won't even talk to me.
How did no one notify him before now? Why does he have to find out in a courtroom? How can
told-
you guys let a matter about a stupid Samsung get in the way of something like this?
He won't talk to me. He won't talk to me.
But there's other people who could have informed him who he would talk to. Why didn't you have one of them inform him? Why wouldn't
I
he find
did.
out here?
I did. I told my ex-sister-in-law, I go, the day she passed away, I texted her and I told her that my mother just passed away and that she needs to tell him. Because she brought him up as a child.
But why wouldn't she tell him? Did she tell you or did
No
she?
one told.
Oh, honey, I'm so sorry.
And my sister-in-law, she's going through her own problems with her mother. And I honestly believe she has Alzheimer's right now. She forgets a lot of things.
Thank you. I'm fine. I'm hearing about this now.
And you know,
I love
I don't
Ellie.
understand how somebody didn't notify him. I mean, you could have texted him this.
I didn't even have his phone number, Your Honor.
I thought his phone number's on your bill.
He got a new phone.
Is that accurate? Did you get a new
I got a new phone, but he constantly calls my grandmother. You constantly call my uncle. You constantly call everyone to bug me about the money and everything. And you can't say maybe your grandmother's passed. And I'm hearing about it now. Really?
I told your grandmother to tell you.
Why didn't you just call?
I did call her.
No, why
You
didn't
did
you
not.
just, if you're constantly calling him, so you have the new phone?
No.
Where is he constantly calling you to
He's
tell?
calling my grandmother. I live with her. So I'm always hearing, what about the money or something. He's always calling, trying to check up, calling my friends, my personal friends, that what am I doing? What?
Did you end up moving out of the house?
Huh? Moving out of the house?
Who are you living with right now?
I'm living with my grandmother still.
Okay.
Who
is it who passed away?
It's my great grandmother, my mother's
mother.
And your grandmother didn't tell you?
No, and you
Is
said
she-
you told
is
her. I got off the phone with her this morning. She didn't tell me nothing like that, and I'm here told like that.
But you're
right now.
living with her and she didn't tell you.
I live.
Her uncle, his
That's a
uncle.
lie.
Just a
didn't
second.
tell
Does she know
Yes. I could show you on my phone. I
that you
texted
notified her?
Yes.
May I see that? If he notified her, it's less offensive. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Because one would expect that she would notify you.
So they would have told me though.
Right, I know. So that's why I want to see it.
I even spoken to his uncle and told him, he called me and told me how sorry he was that my mother had passed away.
I don't understand how nobody
No
told him.
one's told me nothing.
I don't understand. I
don't
believe, I
understand.
believe you. I'm seeing your reaction, and I believe you that nobody told you. But I'm hearing that there's lots of people who could have told you because he told them. And I wish that rather than act like a contemporary of your grandnephew, you had made some effort to reach out to him. You know exactly where he lives. You could have sent him a letter if you think that the grandmother he lives with, his grandmother that he lives with, is not all together or whatever. There are things you could have done. You could have even asked our court staff to break it to him rather than breaking it to him in the middle of this trial. Let me ask you a question. You two started to have problems when you lived together, and one of them is that you thought he was incredibly disrespectful to the memory of your mother. Will you please explain to me what you meant by that?
It was just a lot of things he was doing, and we have a memorial place in my home where we keep my mother's ashes and pictures, and we don't keep nothing else in there but that. And when he was staying with, he has an air bed. It's in the living room, and that's where my mother's ashes is. And
Exactly where are the ashes and the pictures in a what?
It was. It's in the living room, but we have a second living room, so it's like almost a dining room.
Right, but the actual item that it's on is a hutch. It's yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And what was happening?
He was putting his medicine and
On this
stuff.
same shelf?
Yeah, and I took it out almost 3 times, and the 3rd time I seen it in there again, and I asked him, whose stuff is this? And he said it was his. And I told him, I was like, you know what that is? You know, it's not a storage or medicine cabinet. Can you please take it very nicely? Because we were already having problems, and I was tired of arguing with him. I told him, can you get it out? And his response to me was, my grandma or my uncle seemed to not mind, and I had to ask, he's going to have to ask my grandmother first if he could keep that in there.
Why would you put medicine on what is clearly a shrine that he has for his mother there?
Because where I was sleeping at, because I take a lot of medication, and one of them is at night before I go to bed. I have a habit of
Why do you have to put
misplacing
it there? Why don't you just put it somewhere else if it bothers him? Because this is a very personal thing.
Well,
Why would you keep putting it there?
I wasn't aware until
Well,
he
but
had
he
brought
told you
up.
it bothered him.
Yes.
Yeah, and then what happened? You put it there again?
No.
3 times.
Because you kept saying, well, I need them out where I can see them so that I remember to take them, right?
Yeah, table
But
right
you
by
can
his bed.
see other places. You don't have to put it there to show quién es más macho, right?
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So the nephew finds out in the courtroom his grandmother died, and the plaintiff is saying, well, I mean, you know, he didn't want to talk to me, so what could I do? You buying that?
I'm not buying it.
What do you
Not
say?
buying it. I think that's being mean, outright mean. Just
Mean might be a generous word here.
that's cold-blooded,
I mean, to watch this kid just dissolve into tears in the courtroom.
evil.
Evil. What do you say?
I just feel sad for the kid.
I do too. I mean, it really is sad. Absolutely. Going inside the courtroom.
Look, this lawsuit happens because you're then 2 days late on the bill, correct?
Yeah, it was probably a couple more days after that, I'll
All
be
right.
honest.
And did you ever tell him, listen, I'm going to be late, my paycheck is held up?
We weren't really talking at that
All
point.
right, so you're supposed to pay the bill on time. That's part of the deal.
He got the $55 though. I have a text because he texted me saying I didn't pay, and I was like, oh, you get the $55 tomorrow because it's automatically.
And what ends up happening? Do you pay the $55?
Yeah, he gets the $55 too, and I just came to find out too.
Wait, I'm not understanding then. Were you behind or weren't you?
No, I would. So the payment is on the 28th of each month, but I was told I could pay it in the beginning of the month when I get paid. So he told me I didn't pay it. So when he texted me that, I just text him back that he'd get the $55 from my grandma.
Get it?
Like she'll give it to him. Like I
That-
give my grandma the $55
Oh,
because
okay,
I didn't
got
want to
it,
give
got
it
it.
in hand.
Okay.
And he said that was a perfect idea. I could show you the text.
And then what happens?
He shut off the line. He texted
When
me.
did he shut off the line?
It was.
If that was a perfect idea, then what happened in between? You guys had another argument about the medicine?
Yeah, he said the phone hasn't been paid this month. I'm shutting off the line. You could
Okay.
get your own phone. And I said that's a great idea, so it could cut everything ties between us.
Okay.
And the reason
All
why.
right. Now, here's the thing. You have the phone, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have a different plan on it now?
No, I have a new phone. I can't activate it because
Because it's not paid off.
Yeah.
Will you please show me the statements you're suing on? I need to see all your phone bills.
Okay.
No, don't talk. Just show me statements and let me look at it. And then I'll have questions. Okay, I'm looking at the records, and what's left on the phone is $296. You physically have the phone. Since I'm going to order you to pay for it, you keep the phone. But what I'm going to do is order you to pay it directly to T-Mobile. So we'll figure out the logistics of this outside so that we know that it gets paid, and then you're able to unlock the phone. We'll figure out how to get that successfully done outside. Yeah.
I just came to mind just about a week ago. He got $50 for my grandmother for me. She wanted $50 for me just because she needed it, and I just found out that he got it on the 16th.
You're saying she paid him money, and
Yeah,
that should go towards your bill?
Well, no, because he kept bugging her. He wanted the money just from anyone, so she was like bugging me about it, and I get her $50 just because she needed it, and
Okay, but if you gave her $50 because she needed it, and then she gave him $50 because he needed it, that doesn't translate into.
Well, it's towards the phone, but all right.
No, well, it's not towards the phone. If you gave her $50 because she needed it, they're two
she didn't
different
tell
things.
me what she was doing with it, so.
Did she give you $50 for the phone?
Yes, she did, Your Honor. Basically, I was not bugging.
Did you put the 50? Did you bring the balance down by the $50?
No, it
Okay,
came out of
well,
my
then I
credit
will.
card.
Thank you.
All right.
It came out of my credit card.
$296, $50. That makes $246. Verdict for the plaintiff. Good luck, folks.
Thank you.
So the plaintiff does prevail and will get the money, but the money will go directly to T-Mobile. You will have to pay that, and it'll be off, and then you can do what you want with the phone. You okay with it? It's a good thing you spoke up at the end, you know?
Yeah,
It mentioned the $50.
the 50 bucks, you know, saves me,
You know, I'm so sorry you had heard
It's just horrible.
the
you
news
know?
about your great-grandmother.
I thought this was going to be a wonderful trip, but things don't go the way they're supposed to be, you know? It's horrible, and I just want to say, you know, I loved her. She taught me most of the things in my life, you know? And I just want to say I love her. May she rest in peace.
Thank you very much. Okay. You may go this way. Okay. Well, that was kind of a sad experience for him. You understand that?
Yes. Well, I'm sorry. I love him. I care about him, but he doesn't want to talk to me. I got a hold of his grandmother to let him know, and she never did.
All right. So what happens now in the future? Do you still have occasion to talk to him or not?
Well, I want to.
Yeah.
The
You're still
decision's
close
up to
enough.
him. Oh yeah.
Look, okay.
I love him.
Okay.
He's my nephew.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You did win the case. Thank you. Okay. Harvey?
You know, Doug, we talk about this a lot in terms of the consequences of a lawsuit. Sometimes you have to weigh the amount of money you might get against the relationship and the value of that relationship and the damage a lawsuit might do to it.